Yo, what is going on, you peg-legged pat rats? Today, another deck profile video. Going to be taking a look at Ultra Necrozma Malamar. Now, there's quite a few different variants of Malamar, and I will be going over the other ones as well. Tina spell tag, as well as Tina spell tag Garchomp, Giratina tag team. But today, we're going to be taking a look at Ultra Necrozma. Um, Nothing, my list isn't super special from other stuff that's going on out there, but I thought I would go ahead and showcase it for you guys anyways. There's not too much you can do with the Ultra Necrozma build right now, in my opinion, anyways, as it is. But yeah, this is kind of a pretty basic, straightforward build of it. So let's go ahead and get into it. First up, two Ultra Necrozmas, main big attacker in the deck alongside the Giratina. You can have the potential to pretty much one-shot anything, gets the job done pretty consistently at one-shotting stuff. Eventually, once you set up the Malamars and get the energy and play on it. We got one Mewtwo. Basically, just in here when you want kind of a bigger Ultra Necrozma GX, when you're like, they can hit me for 190 pretty easily. I'm going to use Mewtwo so they can't quite one-shot me. Also, it's kind of like a third Ultra Necrozma. We don't have Rescue Stretcher anymore or Fighting Marshadow, so we don't really have a way to get the Necrozmas back. I don't play Brock's Grit personally in my build, so yeah, no way to get the Ultra Necrozmas back. So we do sometimes need a third Ultra Necrozma. If we just go first, attack with Ultra Necrozma turn 2, and they KO that, and then you break up another one, use that, they KO that. You need the Mewtwo to kind of close it out sometimes. So yeah, Mew and Mewtwo is our third Ultra Necrozma. Also just a bigger Ultra Necrozma. The more HP is sometimes the difference maker. 2 Giratina. And the one prize matchups, or just when you can't quite one-shot something with an Ultra Necrozma, but you still want to hit him with the Giratina. Two of them, we don't really want to prize him. We need him in a lot of matchups. So sometimes some matchups we can just use Giratina pretty much exclusively. Yeah, Giratina, two of those guys. Boom. Consistent, always good to have around. Next up, we got the 4/4 Malamar line and a Ditto, which is basically just a 5th NK. I mean, if you could play 5 NK, I don't know why you wouldn't. We don't have a ton of search for NKs right now. We do still have Treasure and Communication, which is in the deck, but no Ultra Ball, no Nest Ball. Communication is not that super consistent of us finding Pokemon, so I don't see a reason not to play the Ditto as basically a 5th NK. There's like no reason not to. So yeah, the 5/4 Malamar line, because we don't have anything for the Ditto to evolve out of besides the NKs. We got the 2 Jirachi, our main pivot guy. Want one of these in play pretty much at all times to send up after anything gets knocked out. Give us some options each turn off of Stellar Wish, and just give us a good pivot for some free cards. So yeah, 2 Jirachi, look to set up one of those eventually and make that guy our pivot. Got 1 Dedenne GX, the only real ability-based draw support that you can kind of search out and use in the turn. We don't got Tapu Lele anymore, we don't have Let Loose Marshadow, so we have the one of Dedenne in here to kind of fill that void. Give ourselves some draw power on the turn. Next up, got the Mew, protect ourselves from the Tag Bolt. Now, I haven't had Mew in a lot of my decks, and you guys have criticized me pretty heavily for that, but I do have him in here because Tag Bolt onto Malamars can kind of be a game ender. So yeah, do have the Mew in that. Also, when you have to put down Dedenne, Tag Bolt on the Dedenne can be pretty rough as well. So got the Mew in here to protect our bench a little bit. In the Malamar deck, boom. Nice to have around. Draw support line. We got the 4 Cynthia, 4 Lily. Just 8 good draw supporters to have on turn 1. We just want a good draw supporter turn 1, and then Lily's usually pretty decent on turn 2, especially because we have Viridian Forest and Treasures to thin out our hand a little bit, and then Cynthia's like always good. So looking for Lily turn 1. I don't find it. Cynthia will have to do, and then Cynthia's from there if possible. Yeah, so the 4/4, 4 Lily, 4 Cynthia for our draw supporters. Next up, 3 Viridian Forest. Don't mind the Proxied one. Just need a ways to discard energy, discard Giratinas, and get energy out of the deck. So Viridian Force is like the perfect fit for the deck. Discard the Psychics so we can get them back with Malamar. Go finding an energy to attach for the turn. Does it all. 3 Viridian Forest. Perfect stadium for the deck. Got 3 of them. 2 Reset Stamp. Give ourselves some of that comeback potential. Very nice and pretty much any, especially very nice because we do run the Jirachis. A lot easier to find them when we need them in the late game. But yeah, when it goes down to 1 or 2 prize cards, and we want to make it difficult for them to get the next knockout. Boom. Reset Stamp. Stamp them low. Hope they whiff. Put them to 1, they usually whiff. So you have to make sure you have enough on your end to win the game too. 4 Mysterious Treasure, 4 Communication, like I mentioned a little bit earlier. Treasures, Obviously, ridiculous in the deck. You can find everything except Jirachi. Communications, the only real other consistent way for us to find cards or find Pokemon. So kind of just have to run 4 of those. We don't play, and we play a decent amount of Pokemon. There's not a whole lot of stuff we want to send back consistently though. Like if you draw Inkays or Malamars, you generally want to keep those. We only play 2 Ultra Necrozma, 1 Mewtwo, so generally want to keep those. So it's like sometimes hard to find stuff to send back into the deck with the communications, but like we really don't have anything better. So for communication, gotta play them, gotta find the Malamars, gotta find the Inkays, and then attackers when you need them as well, of course. For Acro Bike, just want to keep the deck fast and consistent, give ourselves that little bit of extra push each turn if we find these bad boys here. Yeah, just keep everything moving for Acro Bike. Also gives us a way to potentially discard energy if we see an energy of psychic energy off the top too. This is another way to potentially discard psychic energy. For switch cards, don't want to get Ultra Necrozma stuck in the active. Want to be able to move our main active Pokemon, whatever we're attacking with. Sometimes, like if we attack with Ultra Necrozma, the energy goes away. We want to switch them back to the bench, load them up with the Malamars again, get them back into the active, and then swing again. So yeah, we don't want stuff getting stuck in the active. If we open one of our bigger GX Pokemon in the early game as well, sometimes we got to get them to the bench. Force switch, just keep it fast and consistent in those regards with the force switch. 2 escape boards, want to keep a constant pivot in play if possible. Ideally the Jirachi, but if we put down like Mew and a Dene, sometimes Jirachi can't quite make it into play. But either of those would work fine too to have an escape board on them. Yeah, skateboard, super important to keep a constant pivot in play, especially with reset stamp out and about going out around now. We get down to low prizes and our opponent knocks out or, reset stamps us, knocks out our active. We want to be able to send up something that we can then retreat instantly or have the option to. So that's why the escape boards are real good. That much better, actually, now that reset stamp is out. And then our energy lineup, we got 7 psychic, 3 metal, and the beast energy to potentially give us that little bit of extra damage for the Ultra Necrozma. I can't use it with the Mew and Mewtwo, but I think it's still worth it for the extra damage from the Ultra Necrozma. So we still got the beast energy in here for now. I could definitely see cutting it maybe for another psychic. I don't think you'd really need more than 3 metal and the beast. I like the 3 metal because I like to be able to find them off the Viridian Forest. So I think if I ever cut the beast energy, it would be for a psychic energy, not a metal energy, or something else for the rest of the deck. I mean, 7-3 has been a pretty much standard for a while now, so I could see just like cutting this for like another card instead. But yeah, that's it. I don't have much else to say. Some other inclusions you could consider in here is the Dawn Wings. Not too not digging that card too much right now. It doesn't quite hit for enough damage with the GX attack like it used to. So I'm not a huge fan of the Dawn Wings GX. Another thing would be the Gengar Mimikyu GX. I definitely don't hate that guy. That guy still seems like he could definitely be pretty powerful. So those are 2 other cards I guess you could consider adding. But besides that, I don't got much more to say on the deck, guys. Like I said, nothing super special going on in this one, but I thought I would showcase my current build of it anyways. Yeah, nothing super special. Pretty standard as far as Ultra Necrozma goes. I don't think there's too much you can do with the deck. I mean, Gengar Mimikyu and Dawn Wings are 2 additions you could definitely throw in here. But besides that, there's not a whole lot to do with this deck, but to change around with this deck. But I don't feel like there really has to be. The deck has kind of been a staple, straightforward, pretty good, consistent deck throughout its existence. It's always been at least a tier 2 deck. Breaking into tier 1 at some points, in my opinion, but never been quite, the BDIF or anything. But I think we'll still see decent amount of play from it, going forwards into the post-rotation meta. So that's going to do it, guys. Like I said, I'll be coming at you with more builds of Malamar in the coming week. Stay tuned for all that. But that's going to do it for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it, be sure to give it a like. If you enjoyed the content, be sure to subscribe. Leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. Am I missing anything major from this deck? What have you guys been running as far as Malamar goes? What's your favorite Malamar build right now? Be sure to check out Dead Draw Gaming if you need Pokemon cards from the new set, Unified Minds Cards and Codes, deaddrawgaming.com. Use code AZUL for 5% off. That's all I got for today, guys. Have a good day. Thanks for watching, and peace.